How's it going, guys? Oh man. So, I don't know if I ever told you guys this story about, I think I mentioned this before about my grandfather on my father's side, the one that lived in Berdichev, a very Jewish city in Ukraine. And in 1939, he was already an officer in the Soviet army, and he basically decided that he was going to get in his Studebaker. This is one of the trucks that the U.S. Army gave to the Soviet Army. And he took a Studebaker to Berdichev and he approached his father, my great grandfather, Yankel Pinchas, and he said to him, "Listen." And the thing is, my grandfather at that time had already his first wife. And they had a child, and they had another one on the way. She was pregnant. And he said, "Listen, grab my wife and her kids and her kid, and you guys have to evacuate." And my great grandfather said, "Why?" My grandfather said to him, "Well, the Germans are coming this way." And my great grandfather was like, "Okay, what's the problem?" And he's like, "Well, Hitler is the problem." And my great grandfather said, "Okay, well, okay, so this Hitler says crazy things, whatever it is, but the Germans helped us in World War One. You know, they're our friends. They saved us from all kinds of Cossacks and Russians and Ukrainians and whomever. You know, my enemy is Stalin." That's what he told my grandfather. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? My enemy is Stalin. And the cure, in his mind, the cure to Stalin was the Germans. He didn't see that inside of the Germans there was a side effect. It wasn't a side effect, it was the main ingredient. Right? And so, just like with what we see today, guys, there was a blitzkrieg. It happened very, very, very quickly. That the forces that people thought were going to save them came in and they mowed the people down. It wasn't covert and it wasn't under the guise of helping. It was just, I mean, some of them said, yeah, get in these cars and we're going to take you to a place and whatever it is. But most of it wasn't under the guise of helping. You know, they made it clear what they were here to do, what they were there to do. So, my friends, my great grandfather was liquidated. My grandfather's first wife liquidated. Kids liquidated. Everybody. And he, after the war, my grandfather found the Ukrainian policeman who was responsible for this, and he took out his gun, officer's pistol, no trial, no jury, and he shot the guy on the spot. He killed him. You know, guys, somebody convinced us that uh, there is a certain entity coming to save us from another entity that we think is our main threat. And we don't really understand that it's two sides of the same coin. And it's being, it's being essentially pushed by the same people that created the problem we have to begin with. The person who funded the problem, guys, is the same person running around saying we got to take the supposed solution to the problem, which is actually, as we can see, which is really being hidden, and people can't even believe it. It's as bad as the problem it's coming to solve. It's as bad. Not only that, we actually have solutions. And just like in that previous 80 years ago, nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to hear that there was an actual horrible, horrible evil that wants to destroy. I mean, in that case, it was just a group of people. Here, it's just half the world, if not the whole thing. the whole kin caboodle. They don't want to believe that. They can't fathom that. They're not convinced, as I heard. Okay, they're not convinced, and on top of that, they don't even believe that there's an actual viable solution. They think the viable solution is the problem, or they think the viable solution is, or the viable solutions are not solutions at all. Because of the way they've been presented in the media and slandered, and because of the people who present them are slandered by our own people, guys, mind you, our own people. There's a certain doctor who has brought a solution with the last name Z, and he's being slandered by his own people, guys. By his own people, by his own. That's the worst part of it all. By his own people. Not by, you know, anti Semites or whatever. By his own, not just Jews, but Orthodox Jews, guys. That's what it is. That's the story. But yeah, guys, I mean, the more I see what's going on, the more I just, it's like, how should I put this? I think about the fact that maybe I'm wrong. And then I see something else happen. And I'm like, well, I'm not wrong. I want to be wrong. I wish I'm wrong. Guys, today they released the whole statistic from the military, the United States military. There's a running average of the last 5 years of schmancer cases in the military, 35,000 a year on average. 2021, in the first 11 months of 2021, you have 115,000 alone, guys. The number basically almost quadrupled. Let's say at least tripled. My friends, these are people who are in their 20s on average, 20s and 30s. And mind you, their system of record keeping and of reporting reactions is not like the system that we have, the Schmears, where there's anybody could come and say I turned into the Incredible Hulk, or I grew a third eye on my forehead. My friends, this is only doctors can post, only certified people who are. It's a very, very strict posting system that they have in the military. It's like spot on, guys. I always say the only place that my tax dollars I feel confident that where they where they go there and they're used properly is the United States military, guys. That's the only place in this entire government where the money is used properly. You want to say you're for conflict, anti-conflict. The point is the money is used properly. It's being used properly. It's the entity is being managed properly. That's it, guys. I mean, and like I said today, as far as I know, wokeness does not cost schmancer. It can't be that. It's got to be something else. Yeah, guys. I mean, I was just talking to Hashem a couple of minutes ago, and I was saying, Hashem, don't let this get to the unimaginable. Don't let this whole process get to the unimaginable. Mitigate it before it happens, but at the same time, let the truth be known about the people that tried to do this, about the people that are perpetrating this. Because usually when these kind of things happen, when we find out the truth, it's after a big, big caca. Like the last time, 80 years ago, we found out the truth eventually after enough people just, after such a horror, and after such a horror that you have no choice but to look at the truth in the face, because you have to deal with it. You have to come to grips with it. You have to punish the people responsible. But my friends, right now, we're sort of like, we can still stop this. But if we do, then we'll never know who did it. But my friends, we have to. We have to uncover who did this. We have to shine a light on these people. We have to let the world has to know. As the pharmacist told me last week, ain't no mercy for nobody. Like, people have to be put on a public, public showing so that people understand they can't do this again. And I said, well, listen, 80 years ago, this was done, and they continued. As you could see, they continued. They went to America. They went all over the place. They became scientists. They got into the CIA, the SHMIA, the FBI. My friends, it didn't stop 80 years ago. They kept going. And today, my friends, we see the ramifications. We see the son of one of those guys who's the head of the World Economic Forum. Okay? Guys, they have taken to the next level, you know? What did Clarence Thomas used to call it? A high-tech lynching? This is a high-tech lynching, my friends. A high-tech ambush. Yeah, guys, I mean, and it seems to me, that a lot of people who are otherwise, they daven and they learn Torah and they this and they that. It seems to me that this is all show on their part, and they're actually disconnected from Hashem. As a friend of mine wrote today, you know, the people who are he was talking about, secular, because he said the boomers are a very secularized generation. So these are people that they don't see anything in there's nothing to them, there's nothing beyond this life, right? So they just want to save this life only, and they'll do whatever it takes, right? So they'll go and put something in their body just to save whatever the life they think is this, as opposed to saying, you know what, I believe in Hashem, and there's, okay, I'm gonna see what else is out there, so I could, kind of treat myself, but I'm gonna put my hands in Hashem. My friends, I hate to say this, but there's people in the Orthodox Jewish community who are of that same mindset. These are people who daven more than I do. These are people who learn more than I do, who are more learned than I am, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And their rabbis told them, go do this. And their rabbis, I don't know if they did it for kavod, or this, or they were paid, or I don't know what it is. Blackmailed, I don't know what the reason. But and then I've had people tell me, well, all the big rabbis said to take this stuff. And I said, no, they didn't. And if you get your shmedical advice from a rabbi, like I said in the previous video, you are, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you guys. Anyway, guys, I mean, what else is there to say? It's I just have like not good premonitions about what's coming, you know. And I daven every day that people are just this whole thing is going to be, again, it's going to be mitigated. I don't know. Mashiach's going to come and show everybody the truth about everybody that did this. I hope it happens sooner than later. I hope it happens in the next 2 or 3 months, 1 or 2 months, really, because it's just enough. It's enough. Like my friend Frank says yesterday, he's like, all of the din has been exacted. We don't need, all these rabbis say, oh, we need more din. It hasn't been exacted yet. Look how much mercy Hashem is giving the world and us. No, all the din's been exacted. It's past the expiration date. It's time. We're tired of it. It's time. It's enough. We're done. We are done. We've been done. Anyway, guys, that's enough out of me. All right. Keep your head up, and I'll talk to you soon.